Welcome back to another episode of Narrative with Tess Manhattan. Today I'm joined with the wonderful Nick Jorgensen, my good friend, artist, and gallerist. So, what is Drama Gallery?
It is it's an apartment gallery. Um, takes place in my apartment. It's been going on for 4 years now. Going on 4 years. Um, and there were like so many different ideas that I had with like trying to start it. First, it was gonna be like kind of like a more like theatrical like take on gallery life, like where I was writing scripts and stuff about all the artists that I would meet, and like with just the hopes that like something would come out of it, possibly. Like for a while I wanted the mission statement to be documentation to the point of reenactment. So it was like heavily documented for a really long time, and then I kind of lost steam on it, and it's just like um now it's just kind of more of like a fine art gallery, which is still really fun.
DIY spaces come and go. So, I think it's really cool that it's been going on in all its different iterations for so long. I know that you kind of got into DIY stuff when you were living in Denver still.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess, yeah, the whole mindset before it became more of just like a white cube kind of vibe was that I felt like I had to do something kind of outrageous in order to like get some sort of attention, I guess. Like or like something that would like help me feel just prove something to myself. Um and I think that was due to being inspired by DIY culture in Denver and watching all my friends there like do everything on their own, but in like super weird ways, but also be like really inspiring artists at the same time. Um, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Was there like a specific show in Denver that you remember that really inspired you?
Um, well, yeah, it was my first time at Rhinoceropolis, this old DIY venue. Um, it was mainly a music venue, but there was art everywhere. And my friend Coleman was playing this set that had like just super high pitch sounds, like almost unbearable. And but he was singing along to it with like this really beautiful, like kind of whiny voice that just somehow made it all work. And it made me realize that like really beautiful things can come from like super harsh environments and harsh, just like harshness.
I love that.
Yeah.
When did you realize you were an artist?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Once I saw all this like crazy trash art strung up all over DIY venues in Denver, specifically Rhinoceropolis, I realized that I could just make trash art. It could still look cool and hold value. Um, I like sort of abandoned this like technical path that I was trying to go down at the time, which was just illustration. Like me and my brother were kind of really into like anime, mainly in middle school, um, and then like we started doing more caricature drawings of each other in high school and trying to just like make fun of each other. But we never ever considered like drawing like art. And yeah, as soon as I saw like trash art and back to the harsh environment thing, like it kind of scared me, but it was also really beautiful and was addicting, and it just really really inspired me.
That's amazing. The original
For
drama
sure.
Instagram had like a bunch of, it was like your art page, right?
Mhm. It was my old art page from 2017 to 2019 because I mean I was a little bit late on the game, but I was really into net art at the same time too. Like net art also strike me as this kind of weird, uncanny art form that is also really satisfying to look at, um, and an attempt to make as well. Like just working with different textures and like weird stuff, like and compositions, kind of like helped me, I guess, work more with paint later on in life.
So when did you start working with oils?
Actually, like not that long ago, like 2023. Yeah, I was always just painting with like acrylic, like still kind of making like abstract, like just stream of conscious, like paintings that were just from memory and more about texture.
Yeah, we have one right over there.
Yeah, yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
That one's a little more can like theoretical, I guess. I don't, it's like there's some like diagrams on there from Wilhelm Reich.
Yes, yeah, that was something I wanted
Yeah,
to talk about because kind of around when we first started like working together, you were building an Oregon box in your apartment.
yeah, yeah. I was building an orgone box because I felt like I was like having some issues like, in my sex life.
Not laughing at that.
And I read like this book by Wilhelm Reich called Ether, God and Devil. It's kind of just like reading like Freud, but like kind of like a lot more intense. Um, and he really got my attention when he started talking about orgone boxes or orgone chambers and how they're just like these rooms that he would conduct therapy in. Um, you don't have to be like you don't have to be in like you don't have to have a therapist talking to you while you're in one, but he would, and it was cool because it seemed like something I could make myself. Um, it's like basically yeah, it's like a box that is hollow walls, and the inside is filled with organic material like wools. I threw in a bunch of leaves and sticks and grass and stuff, and like even some rocks. And like so the outside is just like scrap wood. And then inside, yeah, organic, and then it's layered on the inside with galvanized steel, which is supposed to apparently like like kind of conduct electromagnetic energy and like hold it in there and charge it.
For sure.
And it just bounces off those metals, and the organic matter and the wood kind of like feed it this organicness. Is maybe I'm like completely wrong. It's been a while since I read it, but just go sit in it and you'll feel something.
Yeah, there definitely is a strong energy
Yeah.
in the box. I remember you
Yeah.
like cut yourself a bunch because the steel was really sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really hard to make, and I bled all over the steel, but I wiped it off. But it kind of has my organic matter in there too.
That makes it more potent, right?
Yeah. Makes it more like
Self-sacrifice.
um artistic.
I feel like it wasn't that long after we first met, you asked me to be in, I think it was like the third show that was at Drama.
Hmm.
And it was a two-person show with me and another artist, Tibby. Um, and I almost like didn't believe you when you asked me
Yeah.
because like no one really gave a fuck about like what I was making at the time. What like gave you the idea for History of Everything?
I just was at the time really obsessed with like that aesthetic of just like this kind of girl aesthetic. Do you remember that account, Vintage Fetish Babes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was like kind of really like a big fan of that, like the posts they would make on it. And your art kind of just reminded me of like that sort of nostalgia and like just internet stuff too, like internet nostalgia, fashion, and just like how beautiful like women could be. I don't know. Yeah, and
Facts.
just like the idea of like collecting like
Hmm.
objects too, and the compulsion of it.
Drama itself, if you haven't been there, is like it looks like a gallery, but it's kind of a challenging place to hang work.
Yeah.
And it was a labor of love putting that show together.
Yeah.
We like had a lot of ideas and like kept switching up what we were gonna do.
That's how it goes, though. You had so much stuff.
Yeah. I brought like half my apartment over to Nick's house.
Which is another reason why I loved your work is it's just like your lifestyle, the vibe. I've been thinking a lot about how in art, like I want to make different things and stuff, but I all want them to follow like one single vibe.
Hmm. I've maybe like always had a consistent vibe that other people can see, but I'm starting to try to like unpack what it means to me, like in
Hmm.
my like why subconsciously am I drawn to like I mean, I don't know. You
Yeah.
can see it here, but this was in History of Everything,
Oh
this
yeah.
shelf.
And
And these were
and the
too.
Spider
And the
Man,
spider
the
one.
spider web.
Yeah, both wait, I think just one of I had only one of the spider webs at the time.
Yeah.
And actually no, that those shelves were part of I took the part that cardboard thing that I had in the show, the like iPod thing that people could listen to.
Oh, nice.
And I
Whoa.
those are the shelves that made up that cardboard thing. So this is actually like half the show right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You consolidated it well.
Yeah. So, and I think a bunch of these objects, some of them were in the show too. I think this was in the show.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
remember.
and
Trisha.
oh yeah, the Trisha was in the show. Trying to think. I don't know if any of the other guys were in the show. I think I've acquired some of these guys since then. But yeah, this is kind of the vibe.
You had a different cast in the show.
Yeah, I have that. I had my childhood cast, which is up there.
Oh yeah.
That was in the show too. Yeah, it was a really cool show. I was super honored that you wanted to show my work. And it kind of started us collaborating and then
Yeah.
War, the group show.
That show was really cool too. And it was all girls except all girls, one guy.
One guy,
Yeah.
yeah. Why is it called Drama Gallery? From the play concept?
Yeah, and drama that I was in. The drama that I was in gave me the idea for play concept. I was in some drama with my best friend.
Who may or may not be here tonight.
Yeah.
We'll bring out Elijah later, but
Because we were gonna do it together, and it was just sometimes it's hard to like collab. Um, and I was definitely like super manic at the time, and like knew exactly what I wanted, and um, just yeah. So it just ended up feeling like drama, and it just felt like it made me more passionate and wanting to like actually take something away from like what could it wasn't even like a negative experience. Like it's just like using that experience for inspiration in a way. Like drama was like perfect name,
do you
especially for the idea that I had at first of documentation to the point of reenactment.
do you like being in drama?
I used to when I was like, I never said like I feel like I'll never admit that I like being in drama, but when I was like definitely drinking a lot and doing partying a lot more, I felt like the drama was kind of fun sometimes. Yeah.
What kind of show doesn't work for Drama Gallery?
Hmm. Well, it's a good question. I think super small paintings don't work that well. And I also think maybe super large sculptures won't work because you have to carry them all the way up 4 flights of stairs. And the ceilings are 12 feet. So it's more than 4 flights. Um, but I mean, really anything can happen at drama. Like it more so is just about like how it interacts with the space because 3 people live there,
Yeah,
you know?
I think
Yeah.
that's what people don't realize when they come to the shows is that people live in the walls.
Yeah. We live in the walls.
What have been your favorite shows?
Tough one. Um, I was hugely inspired by the last show that Jesse Sullivan did, called Coffee Shop. He really went in for that he made these paintings super fast, and they're all super beautiful and elegant. They're just interiors of this coffee shop in Providence called Coffee Exchange that I'm sure you've been to. And then that was up for like a month, and then we had this really fun closing party where Jesse rented all these tables and chairs that went perfectly with his paintings. And we just decorated the space to look a lot like a coffee shop or some sort of just lounge cafe. And then we hosted a poetry reading. It was just super fun. He was really dedicated. I just love when people like have real dedication.
I thought that the closing of that show, it was just such a fun vibe. It's like probably one of the funnest nights I had in 2024.
Yeah, it was super fun. They let me read too. I was able to get a lot of stuff off my chest.
So you read this piece that was kind of about like a curator.
Yeah.
What
Uh-huh.
was that about?
That was just funny. I didn't know if I should read that or not, but then I just did. But it was when I was reading this book by Dostoevsky called The Double, and he kind of like inspired me a lot um, with like how he writes about his anxieties. Um, I mean, the book was like pretty good, but I just like how he narrates like himself, and the way I was like narrating myself like was inspired by Dostoevsky. But that there's more to it than just like being inspired by Dostoevsky. It was I wrote it a while ago when I was like having sleep deprivation and insomnia, and just like thinking about how weird it is to like try to be a gallerist and an artist.
Artist we've talked about a lot together is Jeff Koons.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Jeff Koons doesn't write, like the way he kind of performs himself, I think is like kind of, I don't know, I feel like it goes back to kind of, it's this like salesman part of being an artist. Is that how
Yeah,
it feels for you?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess yeah, that kind of puts it more into perspective for me of why I wrote that is because I do feel kind of like this performer sometimes when I'm like working on the gallery and stuff. Like, of course, I have a passion for art and stuff. It just feels performative sometimes. I don't know.
It is. I mean, especially because it's where you live. Like, I think with this podcast, that being in my apartment, it feels like that too. It's like kind
Yeah,
of like when you take your personal living space and then you transform it into this like third space. It's like, what does that actually mean? Is it not your like, what is it at that point?
it becomes something more than you, and I just feel like a character in this like thing that's more than me.
You're a self-taught artist.
I am.
What does that mean to you?
I don't know what else to think of it because it's all that means. It's all that's the only thing that I know.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I've done a residency before, but that was still all self like led. I think it just means like that I got really inspired at a young age back to DIY culture, like inspirationism.
I love that. And I feel like also it's interesting because you're a skater too.
Yeah, I was.
You were.
I mean,
Well,
I still skate when I can if I want to.
yeah.
It's scary to fall.
Yeah, because I feel like once you like aren't part of the skating lifestyle, it might be like hard to. I've never been a skater, but I'm imagining like I've seen like your skate videos.
Yeah,
You were really like doing some crazy shit.
skating makes you really brave. I think it translates into professional life too. Like it's like just committing. Skateboarding is all about just committing. Um, and I think skateboarding has helped me commit to this gallery and to painting because skateboarding also gave me lots of cool ideas. Like skateboard designs look super cool. Skate videos, specific skate videos, really inspired me. Um, like frog skateboards, shout out, like
I
really
love their
inspired me.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like skateboarders have like a really like they can easily go down a route, like an artistic route.
Yeah, I feel like it's also like a kind of similar to a gallery in that you like have a community and you're like kind of all performing in different ways for
Yeah,
each other.
totally. That's a great way to put it.
What artists excite you?
I mean, this is everyone's gonna hate this, but I'm like super excited by Jordan Wolfson's new sculpture.
You love Jordan Wolfson.
Yeah, I just think that's super exciting
Wait,
because
what's his new sculpture?
it's like this box that like has these robotic arms, and the arms do like this really funny dance, and they interact with the box. It's like super emotional. It's like a 30-minute performance. It's like a performance piece, but also a sculpture. And there's also even elements of painting in it because of like it, or it just seems like he's like considered almost every single medium. Like that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, I feel like his
Yeah.
work is kind of 360 in that way where like even his paintings are like kind of sculptures and I think that's kind of where a lot of painting is heading is that like it's less about painting but more about like the painting as an object.
Tom Kohler is always inspiring me. He's a good artist and a good friend. I love like Matthew Wong. He's dead though, but his paintings are like some of my favorite paintings to look at. He was also self-taught, um, experienced depression, and ended his life early, but made all these big, like really romantic paintings.
Love
I
that.
love like a romantic painter,
What is like what does a romantic painter mean to
like
you?
romanticizing like nature or like interiors. Like to me, like romantic paintings are like when you could just tell someone like likes the medium to like paint, and like it's not just to like make an image. It's like I even think Jonas Kyle, like
Mm,
if you haven't seen the show, he also did a drama, the tapings. His obsession with tape is super romantic.
mhm.
Yeah.
Romance is kind of a through line for all of the drama shows.
Yeah, I mean I like to think of myself as a romantic.
Okay,
Yeah.
something you might not know about Nick is that Nick is an identical twin. Does that inspire you? Because your twin is also an artist and a
Yeah.
musician.
My twin inspired me for sure too. He started when we were still skaters. We were making skate videos. He had a VX1000 and the MK1 and like Adobe After Effects and Final Cut Pro, and like all the all the things you need to like make like a really professional looking skate video. Um, and he was super good at it, and he was super good at editing videos, and he had amazing taste in music that he would put in the videos. Um, and yeah, that was really inspiring. Um, he makes music now, and he's really good at it. Yeah.
Shout out
He's
Sam.
Shout out Sam. Yeah,
We
he's
love
my
you.
twin brother. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was actually we're actually a day apart. Um cuz I came out first naturally, and then he had to get C-sectioned out 6 hours later, and my mother was thought she was going to die or something, and it was just really really intense. I mean, I thought I was a Capricorn my whole life until like a month ago. Capricorn rising. Um
But Sam's a Capricorn rising,
Sam's a Taurus rising.
Taurus rising, and you're
A
a
Sagittarius rising.
oh, and you're okay. Your big three is Nick's a Taurus sun. What's your moon?
Cancer.
Cancer. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Cancer moon, Sagittarius rising.
Yeah.
I thought we were both because I'm a Capricorn rising. I thought we were both Capricorn risings, but Jeff's a Sagittarius rising.
Yeah, I thought I was a Capricorn rising too until I got my birth certificate, and I was just doing the time an hour early.
Oh, yeah, because it
Yeah.
changes every 2 hours.
Yeah. Either an hour early or an hour late, I can't
That's cool. It's cool that you
remember.
guys
Yeah.
have different rising signs, but it's interesting. I think you're the only set of identical twins I know.
Yeah, we knew identical twins growing up like our whole life, which is really funny. Yeah.
Really? Were they boys too or girls?
Boys and girls. Yeah.
Wait, were you like in like an identical twin group or something?
Well, we were in our senior year of high school, we were like really good friends with these identical twins named Abigail and Isabel. They were some punks. We would go to Rhino with them. Um, so that was like high school, but then there were these other twin girls in my elementary school and my middle school. Same twins. Their names were Aiden and Bronwyn. Um, and we were kind of close with them. They weren't like our friends, but we were always like respect.
That's cool.
We respected each other because we're twins.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really special thing to be a twin.
Yeah. And now I have two twin friends now, two guy twins that I met in Denver.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I've had twins in my life for a while.
I feel like as a little kid being identical, did you ever think like Sam was you and you were Sam?
Not like when I'm walking, living, but in old photos, yeah. I can't tell the difference.
Whoa. Yeah, people I think sometimes confuse you guys a lot.
Yeah, we look different though.
I think you guys look different,
Yeah.
but I know I've met friends of mine have met you guys and they're like they know Sam and then they think you're Sam and
Well, yeah, that's the classic thing, especially here and around New York. It's like funny because we have some of the same friends, but then we also have different friends. And so sometimes my friends will like see Sam and try to say hi to him, and he just will be like, who are you? And then I get really paranoid about them thinking I'm like cool guying, but also it's fine. Like I don't care.
yeah.
I told him to just tell them that he's me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know. No one's ever confused me and my brother for each other because we don't look like each other.
Yeah, you're lucky. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's annoying
Yeah, I
sometimes.
bet it's
Yeah.
super annoying because it's
Yeah.
like you're your own person.
I sometimes even go up to people like before, especially if I know they're Sam's friends. I'm like, by the way, I'm not Sam. Yeah.
What do they say? They're like, okay.
They're like, I know.
And you're like, but do you?
They probably didn't. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just
Comment down below if you've ever confused Nick and Sam.
yeah.
How has music inspired you?
Oh, music inspires me greatly when I'm painting. It helps me figure things out more.
What are you listening to right now?
I've been listening to a lot of Moby.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just super like for some reason, just every song of his is like mediocre but really good. Like it's like just some of them are amazing, but every single song kind of has this kind of normal vibe to it that just feels really comforting.
Mm,
Um, or it's just interesting too because it's also such weird music that appeals to such a high, like just so many different people. Like he's
yeah.
really popular, but he makes such weird music.
Have you ever seen his tattoos?
No.
He has like vegetarian tattooed, like
Oh
huge.
yeah, he's a diehard vegan.
Yeah. Or maybe it says
He's
vegan. I
he's
forget what it
like
says.
crazy about that. Um, but I still really think his music is really good, and I could tell he feels like a lot, especially for the animals, and I think he translates that into his music.
Yeah.
I actually just found out that he's a super distant relative of Herman Melville,
Oh.
and that's why he named himself Moby.
Whoa. That's romantic.
Yeah.
He used to have a tea shop in the East Village when I was in elementary school. And he used to have this company called Teeny. It was like
Whoa.
TNY. And I they sold it at my middle school's cafeteria.
Whoa.
It was really chic.
Uh,
Yeah.
I love
R.I.P.
I love
Teeny.
Moby.
Yeah, and I think he used to like DJ at the tea shop.
Dang.
I know. The 2010s.
It's
Um,
funny too because they call him like the king of techno.
Who calls him
I don't know.
that?
I've just seen that. And I guess he is making techno because it's like these really weird, bizarre loops,
Mhm.
but it's not. It's like way funkier than techno.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I listened to Moby when I was like had an iPod, but I haven't revisited. But I think maybe I'll check it out because I feel like I've been needing new music to listen to.
Yeah, it's really good. I I really like this album by him called 18. It's like all these B-sides.
Cool.
So I've been listening to that while I've been painting. Um, yeah. Also John Frusciante. Also Malibu.
So Nick, what have you been up to?
Just going to the gym with Elijah. He just moved in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think he might be here actually.
Yeah. I told him to come.
Okay, Elijah, do you want to come out? Welcome to the podcast, Elijah Lamar. Wait, give him the mic.
Lajmer, thank you.
Lajmer, sorry,
Yeah,
Elijah.
shout
Oh,
out to famous Tess. Thank you for having us.
famous Taz. I like
Yeah,
that.
narrative podcast.
Fuck yeah. So Elijah is an actor, a writer, and an artist. Good friend of the pod, roommate of Nick, almost co-founder of Drama
Yeah,
Gallery.
that's I wanted Elijah to be here when you asked about why drama? Like why the name drama?
Care to comment?
Drama. Well,
Yeah.
we were meeting and talking about starting the gallery space, but it I was kind of like not fully there, and it was at your house, and then there was like a piece of art that I didn't really understand. Um, and Nick had his vision, and so we got in an argument about it and kind of had a little bit of like a parting of ways for a little while. But I don't know, I think it was a cool experience to like, because we had made some paintings together, and that was just like not like planning that much. And then sometimes when you are like doing something with a friend on like a certain level and you don't see eye to eye about everything, it can like just have it bring a weird vibe into the relationship outside of that. And so we were able to like separate it kind of and
Yeah.
move on.
Move on and even get something out of it than title drama.
Yeah.
And
And it just, I think it
yeah.
inspired both of us to just like be more focused on our own visions. And um, I think for me, I really wanted to see Nick like continue to build his artistry and his vision and uh, share that with the world, and like that's what he's doing. So I'm super proud of like drama, and it's like I love fighting, so it's kind of uh, I'm not like averse to having some conflict. If I have a stance, I'm gonna like stand there, and then you've got to stand on your side too. And
I think we did that well. We
yeah,
stood on our sides well.
So Elijah, you speaking of fighting, you have like a background in doing Muay Thai.
uh,
And
I mean, I'm not like competing, but yeah, just train. I love training martial arts. Um, I started training Muay Thai um, when I was like 20. I trained for a couple years and started training jujitsu, and then yeah, I just recently started training like some boxing, but I'm not like I'm not like competing or anything. Just
But the boxing coaches love him. They keep wanting him to keep hitting bags and to spar.
are we gonna see you in the ring, Elijah? The first Drama Gallery fight.
No.
I've wanted to have a
You're
fight on
not
the
gonna see
roof
it,
for
but
a
I might be in
while.
there
Yeah.
in the back room with the guys. But
So when did you start acting?
I mean, when I was like a little kid, like in lower school, we did school plays, and over the summer, my mom would send me to camps, and I would do acting camps and stuff like that, or do acting in these different settings. But I felt like it was something that when I was like a teenager, I was like, I want to be an actor. Like that's I could do it. I just felt like I could do it. And then we did a school play like my senior year, Shakespeare. I'm forgetting which play, but yeah, I got really good feedback. Like people, like other kids' parents were like coming up to me and the directors and stuff. And so I thought it was something that I would like wanted to learn more about. But it took me like a really long time to actually do like a project that was received like publicly, which was last year. I was in The Wrong Movie, which is a film by the artist Karen Sitter. Shout out to Karen. Uh, she's awesome. And that went to the Berlin Film Festival, so pretty proud of that.
That's awesome.
But it kind of fell into this genre that Nick and I have explored in a project, which is, and I think that this film kind of fits into that too, which is something that I'm trying to define, which is the stoner drama.
I mean, yeah, we decided to start this project called the Stoner Drama. That is sort of an ongoing project. We got the majority of the filming like done in like 2021, but we would just get like super stoned and like film stoned shit. And like the idea was to have like a stoner movie be sad, um, which there's not many of those.
Kids have this idea, or I had, and it happens like where you just get like you burst out laughing and everything's funny and silly and stuff. But then there's the other side where you're like in your room trying to smoke a clip, getting all paranoid about like whatever, and
Yeah,
your life is kind of shaking on the edges. You like don't know how people are perceiving you, and you don't know how you're perceiving yourself, and you're just high.
What is your collaborative process like? You guys just did a reading that we were both a part of, this like friendship reading, and then men's poetry night was something I wanted to talk to you about.
the way we collaborate is we just riff. We just have a lot of fun hanging out.
We hang out a lot. We have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And I think that we don't really rush each other or put too much weight into any one thing. Uh, uh, and we both have our own shit going on and like encourage that with one
Yeah.
another. And so then when we do like decide on an idea that we're going to pursue, it's like we just try to have the most fun with it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and the men's poetry night is another example of like that idea just like almost like taking over, like it did take on a whole life of its own. And like it felt like when it feels like whenever we do like ideas like that, like they tend to take on lives of their own.
So where did you get the title men's poetry night from? What does that mean? And what was it exactly?
Elijah just said, should we have a men's poetry night? And it was like the funniest thing that I've heard in a while. Just because we're men, I don't know, and like you just men.
Men.
No, it was like a dumb joke, and then like 8 months later, Nick was like, "Wait, should we just like do this men's poetry night?" And I was like, "No." And then we did it.
Yeah, we did it. We just did it, and it wasn't about it being only men reading, which my mom thought it was, and she was like, "Oh my god, Nick, like I'm so proud of you. Like the men need this. Like the men need this so badly right now." But no, it was like all sorts of people were able to read. It was just a title that seemed to gain traction on the internet, and it just stemmed from a funny joke.
Yeah, and
We don't take it too serious.
we don't take it too serious, but also shout out to men, and shout out to all people. But
Yeah,
I think for us, it's like we kind of define ourselves as men, and are okay with presenting that to other people.
yeah, and I think especially when such a good idea becomes so big and it's not taken too seriously, it allows for readers that we chose and us to also not feel so pressured to make anything like that they feel like pressured about. I don't know, like it just adds less pressure. It makes it way more fun. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I have
Nick wasn't into a non-binary poetry night. I was trying to get that going.
round 2. Okay. So I have some questions that are like I want you guys to answer about each other. Favorite food?
Ground beef. I mean, he eats a lot of ground beef at home. I think.
Trying to get big.
Let me really think about this one. Those habanero chips that you always eat.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I like that genre of food.
Yeah.
That flavor.
And then maybe like I could see you being like a dumpling guy, maybe. No, that's like I pulled that out of my ass.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I mean, I just know what I see him eat. Like Thai food, I think, is his favorite region.
I like Thai food. Nick's favorite food? Fuck.
You can roast me.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what you're like. Eggs.
I mean, at this point, because we've been hitting the gym a lot, we don't really like eat to taste anymore. Like we eat to get bigger.
Yeah. Nick also likes burgers.
I love burgers.
Yeah.
I love broccoli.
Burgers, broccoli.
Favorite color?
Elijah's favorite color, is it green?
Yeah, it's blue.
I fucking should have. I know. Yeah.
Oh, your favorite color's orange?
No.
Red?
No.
Green?
No.
Gray?
Yeah. It's like a gray. It's gray or blue.
Yeah.
Like cool.
But also, like, I love all colors.
I like color pairs. I really like pink and red. I love blue and orange.
I love like pink and blue, like Miami style.
Yeah. I love ochre too.
Shout out ochre. Blue and orange is the Mets colors.
And the Denver Broncos.
Shout out Denver. What's your favorite thing to do together?
It changes a lot.
Just chilling, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever comes.
Just chilling,
doing things,
going out and going on adventures. Just knowing that that's my guy over there. Okay,
so who would play you in a movie? And you can answer for each other, or you can answer for yourselves, both maybe.
Fuck, I feel like Matt Dillon would do a great job at playing Elijah as a fighter, like a boxer.
Robert De Niro. It's Nick Jorgensen.
That'd be sick.
What's the most annoying thing about each other?
Whoa, drama.
Stirring the pot.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I don't want to answer first.
I don't like think about it. That like, I don't.
Yeah.
If Nick like annoys me, I just like go do something, and then it's like over.
Yeah.
Really care.
I feel like I talk a lot sometimes to him about just nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I complain about my stupid problems that aren't real.
But I like giving advice. That's my thing. Yeah. I don't know. We do spend a lot of time together. Yeah. It's like inevitable to get a little annoyed sometimes, but it's never like it's not any specific thing you do. I feel like, or else like you would know.
What animal represents each other?
I think Elijah is a tiger. It's also in his name. Sometimes he kind of reminds me of like a sloth.
Yeah. Nick's like a bird of prey, like a hawk, like with big wingspan. Like,
whoa,
that fool will be just like perched for hella long, and then you'll be like,
whoa, really? Dang, I like that. What about it like a bad animal?
A bad animal?
Well, sloths are super funny.
Sloths are chill. I can be lazy as hell. Like I don't. It's not. I don't have like. I don't. What animal is a bad animal?
What animal do I like look like?
You give otter sometimes.
Cool. Hell yeah. Yeah.
You'll be like chilling on the beanbag, like just like sitting there.
Like an otter.
Elijah and Nick have a message to the people they want to give before we end this episode.
Stay true. Go big. Think harder. Take less time to think. At the same time, think diabolically.
Move your body, get out of your head, go harder, be stronger, be more genuine, love your haters, find motivation in things that hurt you, and just express yourself authentically. But also stop doing bullshit. I'm trying.
I'm trying to. Yeah. Go on a run.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Narrative with Tess Manhattan. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, and we love you.